All right, everybody, I'm going to try this again to show my screens. All right, so hopefully this time I will be able to show you the system and make sure this is working fine. So again, this is GbpUsd, and I'm showing you how the system works. This is on the 1 hour time frame. Let me move this out of the way. This is the 1 hour time frame, and as you can see, we have the triple arrows, 1, 2, 3. And again, I do use the moving averages of a 13 and a 34 crossing, which is right here. You don't have to use moving averages. It's just an additional confirmation. So as many confirmations as possible is helpful. So I have 1, 2, 3 confirmations, and then the crossing, which is a 4th confirmation, okay? But again, you don't have to use it, but I do use the 13 and 34 crossing moving averages exponential. So as you can see on this GbpUsd trade, it actually had 3 arrows to the downside. It's a beautiful trade. You would have moved your stop loss right above the tip of the big arrow right here to protect your account just in case it goes against you. And look at how far this thing went down. However, I'm actually currently in this particular trade. Here's the reason why. It's because I saw the triple arrows, and this is on the 1 hour chart. 1, 2, 3. I got in this trade. Yes, it went sideways for a little while, which is perfectly fine with me because the longer it's going on the sideways market, eventually it's going to go up and it's going to trend up slowly, which I prefer. Here's the reason why I prefer it as a swing trader, because I know if it went down in a slow momentum and it goes up in a slow momentum, I can hold this trade for a very long time without panic. Some trades, some pairs, they're really zippy. They're in and out. They super spike up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's kind of scary. You want to get some that runs smooth to the upside. So as you can see, triple arrows on the 1 hour crossing right here. I jumped in. I'm going to hold this trade, and here's another reason why. Remember, I told you the triple arrows work on all time frames. Okay, it's just a matter of your preference. For me, why work hard for 10 pips if you can hold the exact same trade and make 100, right? Okay, pips is pips. It's just a matter of how much time you want to spend on the charts versus with your family. So let's look at this 4 hour time frame. This is beautiful right here, just absolutely gorgeous. As you can see here, the triple arrow came in way back on April 12th. So you could have had this one trade with the triple arrow system, big arrow, and I'm going to increase the size so you can see the arrow separated at the top here on this move. You'll see a little bit better. As you can see right here, 1, 2, 3. And this is 4 hour chart. So from that top peak right here, see, this is why I don't wait for the crossing of the moving averages. Sometimes I just get in with the triple arrows, right, on the shorter time frame. So as you can see, but even if either way it goes, you would have got in right up here somewhere in this area. And look how long this thing went in a straight downward motion. It went from a straight downward motion all the way from April until the current day, which today is it's August 17th. So how many pips would you have made if you would have caught it? All right, well, let's just measure from there to here. Very smooth trend. That is 1,552 pips. Again, 1,552 pips. Wow. Imagine having a couple of standard lots on that, getting paid $10 per pip times 1,550 pips. Okay. And you had a couple of standards on that. Standards, for those who's brand new, that's a measure of money. How much money were you willing to risk on that? Okay, so that's a different thing to train on another time. But why am I holding this trade? Look at how long this move made. Okay, and now look at what it's telling you. And again, this is why I love this system, because with the triple arrows, you do not have to figure out, measure, and all these different things, when to get in and when to get out. A lot of people had did their Fibonacci measurements and all these different things, and they may have gotten out right here and missed this entire move. Okay, a lot of people are doing all different types of trading styles, which I don't disagree with. I think, hey, if it works for you, great. But for me, I want the simplest of all. Let me just see my triple arrows and jump in. So you could have got in, rode this whole move all the way down. Oh my gosh. And now look, finally, after a couple of months, you see that it finally has the big arrow, little arrow, and the yellow right here. And that's why I got in this trade. And I'm just going to stay in this bad boy until it tells me differently on the 4 hour. Now, on a smaller time frame, will it have ebb and flows, ups and downs? Yes, of course. Okay. Yes, of course. This is 30 minutes. So right here from July, from here to here was a long move. But obviously you have shorter moves right here, shorter move. So if you want to dip in and out, look at this one here. You can play the pullbacks on the 30-minute chart or on the 1 hour. It's up to you. You don't have to hold it on the 4 hour, okay? Which I told you guys many, many times over and over and over again. For me, my favorite time frames to play with is the 1 hour and the 30 minutes. So you could have caught all of these pullbacks and made even more pips in between that 4 hour move from top to bottom, because each one of these, it looks pretty small, but sometimes it's significant moves. And the only way you would have known that if you were playing it on a shorter time frame. So that's the reason why I said, for me, the 30-minute is my favorite. The 1 hour is my next favorite. So you could have caught some pips this way, caught them that way, and then down. Overall, you would have known exactly what path it was taking. But if you just want to be a long-term swing trader, you don't want to be bothered with it, you got other things to do, and you just want to play swing trade and walk away, 4 hour time frame is the absolute best to me. Now, I know a lot of people like the daily time frame, and that's cool. As you can see on the daily, here was the triple arrow again, 1, 2, 3. And here we got a fresh arrow here. We don't have the triple arrow, but we do know it's going to be heading up. Why? Because we see it here on the 4 hour. Now, one of the reasons why I don't personally trade the the daily is because when you're placing your stop loss, again, according to the rules, you're supposed to place your stop loss right above this big arrow. Okay, so if that is the case, let's measure that. Okay, by the time the triple came in on the daily, and it works, again, did it work? Of course it did. Look at here, 1, 2, 3, and it went down. So if you would have called it, that's fine. All right, but same thing here, triple arrow, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this one was a huge news event. That's what went all the way down, and then it came back up, 1, 2, 3, and it kept on going for quite a long time. All right, but here's the problem I have with the daily, and again, it's not really a problem, it's just a matter of preference. When it comes to your stop loss, you better have a big account, because by the time you got the signal from on the daily, that was a 320, if you would follow the rules to the T, you would have been having to have a 384 pip stop loss, okay, 387 pip stop loss. Well, unless you got deep pockets. All right, so for me, I got in on this 1 hour time frame, triple arrow, and look what happened. So you can have tighter stop losses. Like if you would have gotten this one, look at this. From here to the entry was only, what, 54 pips? Okay, so that's not bad. If you want to get in or even on the shorter time frame, the shorter the time frame on the entry, the better. Sometimes I try to time it all the way down to the 5-minute time frame. Once I know, okay, this thing is about to head in a certain direction, and I want to trade in that direction to the downside or to the upside. So let's look on the upside, because this is the one I'm in, triple arrows, and this is the 1 hour. Okay, so if I follow the rules, my stop loss would have been from here to here, and let's just say that would have been 68 pips. But again, I had got in earlier than that. Anytime I see this setup, I try to get in as early as possible. So that's why I say the 30-minute is my very favorite of all times, because risk management. It prevents you from blowing your account. So let's take a look at this. Right here is where the triple arrow showed up. 1, 2, 3. That means I got in right here. What was the stop loss? The stop loss was like 52 pips. Okay. And if you're not trying to, go all in on one trade, you won't blow your account. But here's what you could do. Now that I know, and here's how I actually trade this, and I'll leave you guys with this. Here's how I actually trade it. One of the things I do is I look on the 30-minute chart, okay, and I see my setup coming, okay. I see, because oftentimes you'll see 2 of the arrows, but not the third. So what I start doing, now that I know that it's heading in that direction, I click on the 1 hour. And if I see the big arrow, it doesn't even have to have all the others. It just have to have the big arrow, because I see the formation of the triple arrows. I got 2 of them on the 30-minute. So, okay, I'm double checking. Is it showing up on the 1 hour? Oh, there's a big arrow. Then I check the 4 hour. Oh, and I see the big arrow. So it's not even having these other 2 just yet. It just have a confirmation that from the time frame of the 30-minute, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour, and sometimes I check the daily, and when I see that it also have an upward arrow, that's more than enough confirmation for me to let me know the direction of where this pattern is about to go. So I have zero doubt of knowing that this is going up. Why? Because every time frame, and you can even check down from, and let me turn this little ding off, the 15-minute. See, the 15-minute told you early on right here, triple arrow, 1, 2, 3. So therefore, I'm looking on as small as a time frame as possible. Everybody want to call me and things of that nature. I apologize. So I just want to let you guys know you can go down to any time frame and it'll work just fine for your entry. The smaller the time frame, once you confirm the pattern, is good enough. All right, that's enough. Have a good day. I got to take some calls.